What is good, guys, man? Thank y'all for tuning back into the channel, man. If you're new, make sure you hit that sub button down below to be notified for every single video that I do drop, man. And how you know you're notified, man, is when you hit that subscribe button, you're going to make sure you hit that bell. And once you hit that bell, you're going to make sure you press all to be notified for every single video that I drop, man. Also, go follow the Instagram. The link is down below in the description, man. And once we get to 100 followers over there, we're going to start dropping some awesome content, man. Now, whatever the title is, that's what the title is right now. I haven't watched this video one bit yet, but whatever the title is, that's what it is. It's a scary story time. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video and see what's going on, man.
Imagine moving into a cursed house. Yes, cursed. The curse is that every mother and daughter pass in the house. I'm gonna tell y'all a scary story that somebody submitted to me. We're gonna call the submitter Angela. And Angela, her mother, her stepfather, and her aunt moved into a house on 123 Hempstead Street. Now, the actual address is given to me. I'm not going to give it to y'all, but it was on Hempstead Street. So, boom, the summer of 2021, they moved into this house, right? The house is super old. It was built in the early 1900s, and it was passed down to the owner by his kinfolk. The owner was married to a transgender woman. We're going to call her Kiki. And the man's woman was heavily into spiritual practices, deep into spirituality. And for context purposes, everybody in Angela's family had spiritual gifts. Every one of her mother's siblings passed at the age of 53, and they were all 4 years apart. Even Angela's daughter, her 6-year-old daughter, had spiritual gifts. Angela had them as well, but she chose to ignore them. But her daughter would play in the astral realm, could speak to the dead, and would just have a lot of weird stuff happening to her. So they moved into this house in the summer of 2021, and immediately Angela and her daughter feel like they have vertigo in the house, like something is off. Everything seems upside down to them. But of course, they're already in a lease, so they move in. When they move into the house, her mother was diagnosed with cancer, and she was not at her best, but her spiritual gifts were still working. The first weird sign that something was wrong with this house, every day at 1:30 p.m., a man in a blue suit jacket and beige pants would ring the doorbell, and they would run to the door to try to catch him. And whenever they looked out the peephole or at the security cameras, they would see him. But when they opened the door, there was nobody there. And it's not like he walked that fast. He was an older gentleman, and they could never catch him. Second thing is that her 6-year-old daughter asked her if she could play with her friend that lives in the closet. So she asked her 6-year-old daughter, like, what does this friend look like? Who is this friend? And of course, she's 6, so she can't give a really good description. But one thing she could tell her mother is that she had red glowing eyes, and that they would play with her dolls, and she would go back into the closet every time she heard Angela come up into the room or up the stairs. Of course, Angela was like, no, you cannot play with this friend. It's a no for me. And that pissed the spirit off, which we'll get into later. The third very weird thing is that every time they would take pictures in this house, the faces of the people in the picture would be distorted. Like some Ring shit. You know, the movie The Ring, it would be distorted completely. The house was always weirdly cold to the point where Angela and her family could see their breath coming out of their nose and mouth. In the middle of the summertime, and where they live, they do not need an AC. The only place that was warm was the daughter's room, the 6-year-old's room. But the closet in the 6-year-old's room was freezing cold where you could see your breath again. So of course, Angela attributed all of this paranormal activity to this being that her daughter was playing with that lived in the closet. So she finally put her foot down and was like, you cannot play with whatever is in your closet anymore, no more. And can you believe that this spirit pushed Angela down the stairs? And it wasn't just one time, it was a regular occurrence. They had to watch their back as they was walking down the stairs. And I'm not talking about, oh, she stumbled and missed a step. No, she would go full-fledged rolling down the stairs. And this happened anytime Angela would mention this little girl that lived in the closet or reprimanded her daughter for anything. Her daughter also told her that whatever was in the closet had no age, and that this being was gonna give her 6-year-old daughter her name, even though she never specifically told her name. Angela would leave the house and no one was home, and she would clean up her daughter's room on occasion, and when she would come back, every piece of furniture, toy would be pushed into the center of her daughter's room. and she began to feel very confused. She got that same vertigo feeling that I mentioned in the beginning when she would speak about what was going on in her house or why all of her daughter's toys, furniture was pushed to the center of the room. While all of this is happening, her mother is still battling cancer, and she's telling Angela that her deceased uncle, which would be her mother's brother, deceased uncle and aunt are in the house. And she would just dismiss her mom like they're already unalive. And then all of a sudden, all of the household members, the stepdaddy, the mom, Angela, her daughter, her aunt, they were all bickering at each other for no reason. It was like a cloud of negative energy. Her daughter had to sleep with her aunt because she couldn't sleep in her room because whatever it was that was bothering her was irritating her at night and she could not sleep. Unfortunately, her mom succumbed to her cancer and passed away on February 15th. And our friend Angela went into complete despair, was drinking, became numb. And her stepdad noticed the energy shift and was trying to get her back together. So remember, Kiki, the owner's wife, came to visit Angela and was telling her that her deceased mother told her the only way she's going to survive this is if she moves out the house. Kiki also said this is the same message that your deceased mother was trying to tell you in your dreams, but you were totally cut off from receiving that message. And Angela acknowledged that her mom came and visited her in her dreams, and she did not want anything to do with her. She didn't want her daughter around her in the dream. She was not having that shit. The activity ramped up after her mom passed away. Her daughter would be doing homework at the kitchen table, and the garbage can would literally slide to the middle of the floor by itself. She would sit with her daughter and witness this activity, this garbage can being slid into the middle of the kitchen floor. Things were being moved. Her memory was becoming faint. It was just all bad. After so long, she couldn't take it and wanted to move out of the house. So she packed her and her daughter up and they left the house. They went back to try to retrieve some items, her and her stepdad. But they both began to feel so sick in the house that they said, forget it. We don't even want whatever is in here. And they left the items. About a year or so later, another mother and children moved into the house and the mother passed away. After that, another mother and children moved into the house and the mother and the daughter passed away. Our friend Angela did some digging and noticed a pattern. She noticed for years and years and years, every mother and daughter duo that moved in passed away and the mother went first.
Oh my gosh, this is literally crazy, to be honest. What you just heard at the ending. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, y'all gotta do y'all research on what y'all moving into. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people be leaving a lot of bad spirits behind, man. So y'all really got to pray over y'all house, y'all new place, wherever y'all moving into. You know what I'm saying? And just bless it, cause you just don't know the energy that was in the house before you moved in. You know, this was very, very spooky to me, man. But y'all comment down below exactly what y'all think. I am very tired right now. Didn't get no rest last night. Getting ready to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, guys, at the end of my video, so I would say stay inspired, stay motivated, stay grinding. Until next video, I'm out of here.